Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. We're set for today's video. So, Billy, this is a gift that just keeps on giving. This Mount Rushmore idea, such a great lens to then, tweak, not even tweak, but pick what is the lens of this video. Specifically, as you can see from the title, this one is international beers. So I'm excluding the United States. I'm not factoring in any United States beers with this. So it's not all the beers of the world. It's all the beers of the world except for the United States, because I already made that video. Also, at this point, everyone, I don't have any other ideas for a Mount Rushmore video. So if you have another lens you'd be interested in hearing my thoughts on, definitely comment section below, let me know. This whole run was courtesy again of Billy, so this was not an idea I had. So I love it when people who watch have ideas that are yeah, that's an awesome idea for one of these videos. So this one, I did you guys one better. I am going to review all 4 of these beers next week. This was really hard. I thought about it myself. I made a point a couple times to stop and think, just gut reaction. What do you think 4 best ones in the whole world are, except for the United States? I even Googled a couple lists, just top international beers, see if I kind of forgot anything. And then I did one last thing where I went to the closest beer store to me, and I just walked through their import aisle. Again, am I missing anything I need to contemplate? And I'm pretty excited for what I came up with. There was certain criteria I had in my head, but probably about 10% of it, of the whole pie chart, about 10% of my thought process was, I don't want them all to be from because very quickly it was almost all Belgian beer. And I'm don't do that. Then I'm whoa, I can think of some German ones too. And I'm 2 countries in the whole world. This list is very European centric. Their beer history and culture has been what it has been. I'm sure there are amazing beers elsewhere in other continents that I have not been exposed to. Ones that maybe are amazing but haven't had the cultural impact that I'm also trying to factor in as part of this. So I think I've come up with a really cool list, but as always, it's super fun to hear what you guys have to say. So get that comment section going. I know Joe from Jow's Arcade a couple times on these videos has been these are impossible tasks, essentially. Yeah, that's why it's so fun reading other people's thoughts. I saw from last week's video, I just read it quickly. I haven't responded to text or to the messages yet. Someone said Allagash is white. I was in my head, I'm oh man, that might be a better choice than that Omegang Hennepin I said. So it's really cool reading what people have to say. All right, so I have all 4 bottles off camera. I will talk about all 4. And again, next week, you'll see reviews of all of these. It just seemed kind of like a no-brainer. I can have all these to review, so I might as well, after this video, do that. So you'll start seeing those on probably Tuesday of next week, or of this coming week. Let me wet my whistle real quick. All right, one of the first ones that came to mind that was not Belgian, Westfaner Hefeweizenbier, Bavarian style. You probably know this one. Coming at 5.4% ABV. I love wheat beers. This was kind of a no-brainer. There are other ones from Germany that, to be honest, I did consider. But this one was nah, dude, you gotta pick this one. The world's oldest brewery. So again, kind of deliciousness, cultural impact, significance. Don't pick all from the same country or too many from the same country. These were some of the things I considered. So also never reviewed it. Super stoked to review this, and I haven't had this in a really long time either. And I love Hefeweizen. So really excited for this one. Then, kind of a last-minute addition. I'm how did I not think of this one? If you watch my channel a lot, you probably won't be surprised because I love this beer. I don't know if I've ever reviewed this beer. I have many times recorded love letters to this beer, but I don't know if I could ever consider anything I've ever done to be a review when it comes to this beer because I love it so much. And I was actually walking in the beer aisle today, and I was I saw this, but I already have a bunch of them. So I'm well, I'm not going to buy more because I have so much of it that I'm aging. But yeah, this is for sure, to me, the best Christmas beer ever, Santa Claus out of Austria. So I was able to pick a beer from a different country, so that was awesome. And for me personally, one of the best beers ever made, period, hands down, no argument. My favorite Christmas beer. I think people who know. I think this probably has been influential in other Christmas beers. This is 14% big beers that aren't stouts and barley wines, like that can get that big, huge flavors. I effing love this beer so much, and I cannot believe it was not part of one I initially considered. But for me personally, no brainer. This next one, there were two options. I'm like, this third slot, there's only two options. And I went with a one that, I'll see if you get, like, when will you guys figure out what beer I'm talking about? So there are two beers that are very similar and have a lot of interwoven history. And they are distinctly different, but they, because of their history, it's hard to not connect them. One, very hard to get. You have to go to the source. The other one, I can find almost anywhere that sells beer, at least like beer stores and stuff. A lot of good craft beer bars will have this beer. So I almost went with a harder to get one because that might have the bigger hype wow factor. But in terms of like inspiring people, consumption of by people, enjoyment by people, I had to go with the St. Bernardus and not the Westy 12. Probably the hardest choice I had to make for this video, because I wanted to actually, my initial thought was I was going to include both of them. Like I said, like it was a very Belgian heavy list initially. I think it was 3 Belgian beers of the 4. And I'm like, no, that's too many. So I decided on this one. This will be a weekend review because it is aged. It has a Best Buy of February of 2023. So, which I don't care. This style, in my opinion, ages awesome. I mean, this I forgot to say this. This Santa Claus is from 2014. I'm going to do a 10-year-old Santa Claus. You guys know I'm not afraid of trying aged beers. And I think, as I said recently in a different video, quads are what got me into aging beer because I had one that was amazing that was aged. And like it blew my mind. I've been chasing that dragon ever since. So, very tough decision. Went with this one because more people have had it because of how much easier it is to get. And then here's another beer store where I had to change my mind. I went there to buy Coast Stricker. I love that beer. Love that beer. Was reminded recently how much I love that beer. And I went to buy that. Then I saw this on the shelf. And I was like, ooh, I love this one even more. I love Coast Stricker. And I'm like, this is going to be like last week's Omegang Hennepin. I think this will be the one that, well, maybe the Santa Claus, that people might want to drag me on. But I love this beer. I love this beer so much that I have proper glassware. Actually, I have proper glassware for this one, and out of Canada, the end of the world, La Fin du Monde. I never took French. I'm not going to try to pronounce it in a French-sounding way. A Tripel. So, am I cheating a little bit because of the style? Maybe, but I didn't want to get. I didn't want too many Belgian beers. But I was walking down and I was looking for Coast Stricker, and when I saw this, I'm like, ooh, I have to make a last-minute change. This is my list, guys. Little bit of style, actually a decent amount of style. Well, 100% style variety. None of these beers are the same style. That I think about it. I actually didn't even do that on purpose. Couple different areas of the world. I was able to sneak North America in there, not just European beers. Yo, guys, real talk. This is incredibly hard. Again, I did some research, which I'm not a fan of doing for the channel. I try to just do it off the cuff. And there are a lot of answers you guys could say that I'd be like, yep. But this is what I came up with. What are your guys' thoughts? I hope this is a fun one. I hope I get a lot of comments. Down below, let me know what would your Mount Rushmore of non-American international beers be. Get those conversations going with each other. I'll chime in for sure. As always, when you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews, both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.